horrible and boisterous times to gain liberty. But as Thomas Jefferson said, liberty is a boisterous sea. Timid men prefer to calm. But the Tibetans would not. And as we can see, Tibetans are not timid, who would accept subjugation forever.
There is, as some reporters stated in newspapers, a deafening silence from the Chinese community with regards to the current events inside Tibet. But I refuse to believe that it's because they are unmoved by the plight of Tibetans. I think that there is a malaise, and a malaise that's been fed by the Chinese propaganda machine, that when speaking up for Tibet equals disloyalty to China, to one's country. So our challenge over the next few years is to gradually tear down this notion and replace it with the truth, which is that the interests of Tibet and China are not mutually exclusive, and that it's not a zero-sum game, and that friends of China do not need to choose between China and Tibet, nor do members of the Chinese community when speaking up for the aspirations of the Tibetan people inside Tibet.
And Tibetans and our friends are expected to rise and say why Tibetans are dying, why Tibetans are self-immolating. It's a complex issue, but the causes we know. And point out to the causes. And so these are the causes that forces Tibetans to self-immolate. And we have no choice but to support the aspirations of Tibetan people. Now, the Chinese government blame us. They say it's a terrorist act. Someone outside China is instigating it. Absolutely baseless. 74 self-immolators. Not even a single one of them has harmed even a single Chinese person, or a Chinese restaurant, or a Chinese hotel, or a Chinese house. How can it be a terrorist act? Yes, Tibetans are harming themselves. But even at that painful phase when one is burning, they are not looking at Chinese, or they are not running towards Chinese, but they are dying a painful death for themselves. Now the Chinese government insists. We have already issued a statement. The Chinese government and the international community can come to Dharamsala, check our files, see for themselves if there's any connection. There is no connection, there is no instigation. The blame and the solution lies solely with the Chinese government. Because these people who are dying are of what we call socialist paradise generation. When the Red Army first moved to Tibet, they promised socialist paradise for Tibetans. But there is no socialism or paradise. Rather, there is occupation and repression.